Daniel Downs awoke on Easter Sunday to the unusual quiet of an empty house. Both her roommates were with their families, and in their absence, the house lacked the comfortable chaos of 3 students with colliding schedules. Daniel wished she could be home for today, too, with her parents and younger sister. But she had the weekend shift again at the Wingate, an interstate hotel where she worked the front desk. In the slanting light of spring, this rare and velvety silence tempted her to sleep in, but she decided to get up for Easter Mass, even if she had to go alone. A mile north of campus, her house stood in the lowest point of Beverly Heights, a sleepy street of middle-class homes and college rentals, shaded by trees in new leaf. The neighborhood lacked the couches on porches ambiance of the Strip, that thumping stretch of University Boulevard where Leonard Skinner blasted at any hour from the belly of a sticky-floored bar. At 24, Danielle was over that. She liked this house, with its wraparound deck seasoned with late-night laughter and spilled drinks, where the white wooden railing was still wrapped in Christmas lights. It was quiet, but not too quiet. Through her second-floor window, she could hear invisible trains rumble by, hidden by curtains of tall pines. A senior in social work, Danielle was one of 34,000 students attending the University of Alabama, the biggest school in the state and an academic juggernaut that dwarfed the historically black Stillman College. 1,000 students, and 2-year Shelton State, around 5,000, in their semesterly occupation of Tuscaloosa. Graduation was less than 2 weeks away, and all 3 schools were pulsating with the fugue of procrastination and panic that whirled through finals week. One last paper stood between Danielle and her diploma. Working 70-hour weeks between her full-time hotel job and her field placement for the School of Social Work, she had been rushing to finish papers and tie up loose ends in the scraps of time between double shifts. When she learned that she had qualified to graduate, the swell of relief yielded a smile so big that her almond eyes disappeared. Her family called this look her Chinese eyes. It meant she was really happy. She loved walking to class across the grassy quad, the focal point of campus, beneath cherry trees that rained pink blossoms in the spring and rust-colored leaves in the fall. On one side of the quad sat the musty-smelling fortress of Gorgas Library. On the other towered Denny chimes, the red brick obelisk that announced the hour with a melody. Ancient oaks knit their branches into a canopy above University Boulevard, shading the white double staircase of the president's mansion, one of 7 antebellum buildings that survived the burning of campus 5 days before the end of the Civil War, when this was a military college. Beside the mansion was Danielle's School of Social Work, headquartered in Little Hall, a former gymnasium named after an 1892 transfer student who introduced a game he had learned up north, football. The university now claimed a football dynasty that could easily double the population of Tuscaloosa on game days, when students must move their cars off campus to make room for convoys of motorhomes filled with fans of the Crimson Tide. Soon there would be no more tailgating on the quad, admiring the chocolate fountains and flat-screen TVs clustered under vast alumni tents. No more all-nighters over textbooks or beer pong. No more struggling for a passing grade in classes that tested theories, but not those unteachable realities that underlay her calling to social work. Compassion, integrity, tenacity, patience. Well, maybe not patience. She was itching to move on. Her little sister's wedding was a week from Friday, and Danielle was the maid of honor. Michelle was marrying her high school sweetheart, a meteorology student, just a few days after their graduation from Mississippi State. The day after the wedding, Danielle would walk across her own stage in Tuscaloosa. After pulling on one more bridesmaid's dress for a good friend's wedding in May, she could get on with her own post-college plans to move to the